I want to introduce our first guest on our show. First guest in Jacobs Wells Everybody Comes Late show history. This is kind of big. You're nervous. I can tell. So if you've been around Jacobs Well for a while, you've seen Terry before. He's actually spoken here a number of times, and just a great guy. He's written a number of books. He wrote Blue Collar God, White Collar God. It was kind of tricky. He just flipped the book over, and he wrote two, but he really only wrote one. But it lets you know a little bit about him from the very beginning. And then he wrote a book called Surprise Me God, a 30-day faith experiment. We did this as a community, actually, a number of years ago. And if I remember right, 3 couples got pregnant during that time. So he wrote his next book, which was called, Would You Quit with the Surprises, God? Enough Already. No, actually, his next book was then to kind of turn the table rather than looking to God, but look to ourselves, and it was a book called Be the Surprise. And so that's kind of special. He's also the creator of many jingles that you have known, maybe all your life if you've been around the Twin Cities, Mall of America, Target, Subway, Twins? Some, okay, and Care 11, and he's done all kinds of fun stuff like that. He's also the director, the originator, the creator, and the chief wrench of FreeBikes4Kidz, and who is now the world's best friend of will be in a week, a world's best friend of about 6,000 kids here in the Twin Cities. That's pretty good. So I am proud to welcome my friend, Terry Esau. All right. A Terry creation from Care 11.
Should have hired these guys for the original, right?
Really, yeah.
We should have asked you for the sheet music.
Did you put a credit up there? Because Care will come after you.
Yeah. They probably will if we were only important enough for them to notice.
Yeah, right.
So Terry, it's great to have you here, and I want to hear more about FreeBikes4Kidz. I think everybody wants to hear about that. That's your cup. That's my cup. But before we jump into anything, I just one thing that's kind of bothered me for a long time, and this name FreeBike4Kidz. Kids, it's plural, and it ends with a Z. And I always thought kids ended with S, and And then I'm not even going to go into the fact that the 4, you use a number, the numeral 4 instead of the word. But, you're not a grammar organization, but,
This was before spell check.
Oh.
So, what are you going to do?
Okay, so not a real, it wasn't a marketing idea or something, it just kind of happened?
Yeah, it was, but then the marketing firm that helped us with our branding, after we had done it, said, that's really a bad idea. It should, and they tried to get us to go back to S, and I said, we've been Z for a while now. I think we'll just leave it.
Okay. Well, thanks for being with us today.
It's great to be here.
So I don't know if you have seen all the FreeBikes4Kidz stuff. I mean, you've been on the news all over the place. It's flashed all over the place. This just popped up. You want to show this video? This is just 26 seconds. I found this on Facebook just last night, and someone showed it. You can. What are we seeing?
Can I just watch the monitor here?
Yeah, you watch the monitor there on the carpet. As far as the eye can see, bikes.
Yeah, it's insane. I'm just so happy it's today and not like a month and a half ago, though, because almost all of those are done.
So what is this all about? Tell us about FreeBikes4Kidz.
FreeBikes4Kidz, I'm a certified bikeaholic. I actually have a bike that costs more than my car, which probably says more about my car than it does about my bike. But, I had a paper out when I was a kid because I got paid to ride a bike. When I was 16, my buddy and I rode our bikes to the West Coast and back, and then I started racing, and I started this club that meets in my driveway, and, everybody loves biking, I think, and if they don't, there's really something wrong with them. And there are a lot of kids who don't have bikes. And there are garages everywhere filled with bikes that are collecting dust. So I just said, hey, how about if we put those two things together, invite people to donate bikes to us. We'll organize thousands of volunteers, probably 5,000 volunteers this year to refurbish them, give them all away to kids in need. We're on our 8th season. By the end of this year, we'll probably have given away about 32,000 bikes.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was noticing from the video, at the very beginning, the ones that are close up, they're scratched and stuff like that. I mean, they're bikes. You're not looking. I mean, it's the stuff that we've got in our garage too. Our kids grew out of, or we, left behind, and you can fix them up.
We ask for gently used bikes from the public. Seems to be a wide range of that definition, because we get bikes in that are completely rusted, solid, nothing moves on it, and we go, thank you very much.
Yeah,
we'll throw that away for you.
We can get recycling credit for that one. Yeah.
Yes.
I have the same wide range for humor here. But
Suit's a killer, though, man.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought something's got to be top tier today. So, that's what. But okay, here's my question for you, though. I mean, I'm a pastor. I read the Bible, and it's actually in Acts, but it says Jesus said it is, more blessed to give than receive. And it seems to me like you're teaching 6,000 kids to receive. So how come you're not teaching them to give? You're teaching them just to get stuff. What's that all about?
We're teaching the rest of the world to give.
Oh.
So it's... And it's an interesting thing, though, the whole giving, receiving is... they're kind of mixed together. Because I think a lot of the people who are giving bikes to us, they're getting something in return for that, whether it's just a fuzzy feel-good sort of thing. But, giving is a challenge. It gets to be, there are times when serving gets old, or gets tiring, maybe I should say.
Well, you were telling me when you started this, the first year you did how many bikes?
250.
250, and it's you and a couple of buddies?
Yeah, and it's like everybody goes, that was really fun, let's do it next year. And then we did 750, and everyone said, that was really fun, let's do that again next year. We did 1,500, and I said, that's really not that much fun all the time. It's just a lot of work, And then we formed a nonprofit and got some sponsors, but it's still a lot of work.
Still a lot of work.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to me, though. I mean, you did something like you're a bikeaholic, and you like helping people.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
No, I'm not as much of one, but I imbibe. So you wanted to do this. I mean, this was fun, and you did it, and you did it, and you found out it was a need, and you kind of kept meeting the need as it uncovered itself. But it got to the point where I'm not just doing this because it's fun for me anymore. I mean, in order to be successful, you had to transform something about FreeBikes4Kidz.
Yeah.
So what's that like? I mean, what did that mean for you? Like to let go of it, and what did you have to unlearn, or what did you have to do differently in order to say, this isn't just about Terry being able to spend a lot of time working on bikes, but this is about actually meeting a need that's out in the world in a way that has an impact.
Wow, that was like 4 questions in one there.
No, I have the right to do that.
You do?
Yeah.
You can write them down for you if does that help?
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
Here, I got note cards.
Well, I don't even know where to start with that. There's like some stuff where you go, well, it's interesting. Mary was just talking to me like 2 days ago, like on Black Friday. And she goes, how are you doing? And I said, not that well. Because I just said, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. And this guy spoke in, I was going to say in our church, but in our other late show that I'm a part of. And he was talking about serving with gratitude. And he said, serving, we all believe in serving, right? Serving is a good thing. It's something we should do. We all believe in gratitude. It's something we should be. But when you put those two together, it all of a sudden becomes way more difficult serving with gratitude, because a lot of times when you're serving, you're giving. And like I said, you get from that too, but it's also exhausting. So I think we're trying to help people, well, we're trying to wear people out, I guess, you know, because I think our mechanics looked at me the other day and go, I'm really tired, Terry. I'm glad we only have a week left. But then this guy walked in on Black Friday, a guy from Cameroon, who we give bikes to every year. And he said, I came in today because I wanted to be here on Thanksgiving weekend and look all of you in the eye and tell you thanks. And he said, we have all these kids in Cameroon. The boys pay $1 to go to school per month. I know this is a long story, sorry. You're supposed to do short things on these late shows.
People fall asleep here, yeah.
But it's like, he said the girls often don't get to go to school. Because first of all, the school is 15 miles away. So they get up at 5 a.m. to get to school by 8 a.m. And he said, what we're doing is we're giving most of the bikes that you give us to the girls so that they can get to school in time and then they can get home in time, because otherwise they've been walking 15 miles, coming back 15 miles home, having to do all these chores. They're tired, they don't do their homework, so they fail in school, and then their parents say, yeah, you don't get an education. So they said the difference it's making for the girls in Cameroon right now is that the girls are getting to school faster, they're getting home, they have time to do their homework. And he said it's changing the lives of all these little girls in Cameroon. It was, you know. And that's when you go, serving is hard and it's tiring, but it's so worth it that we get in a strange sort of way. In a strange sort of way, I give so that I can get. Does that sound terrible?
No, I'm a big believer that there's no such thing as an unmixed motive, you know, and I think that's all very real. And I think, you know, we're really thankful that you push through just the fun part of this to make it, you know, so big so it can impact so many lives. It's important, and you know, you let go of that side of it so it could make a difference, and that's cool.
Can I tell you a really quick story?
You
quick one about motives.
Go for it.
We live on the circle, and it's 0.6 of a mile around. And back when my knees worked a lot better, I would run. I was a runner, so I'd run around, and I found that running was a good time to pray. So I'd run around this circle like 4 times, and the 5th time, and I'd pray for different things each time. The 5th time around, I'd always say, God, I'm listening. What do you want to tell me? And I felt like for 2 years straight, I felt like God was saying, or maybe this was me, your motives are a little messed up, Terry. It's like you're doing all these things, and then you're kind of looking to see if anybody is noticing the good things that you're doing. And for 2 years, I struggled with this, running around and going, you know, I'm trying. And after 2 years, I stopped in that 6th run once, and I said, you know what, God, I give up. I don't think I'm capable of pure motives. So here's the deal. And you probably should never say, here's the deal to God.
Because you might get it.
But I said, here's the deal. I don't think I'm capable of pure motives. But if you can use what I have to give, I want to do that. But I'm not going to promise you pure motives anymore, because I just don't think I can do it. And that was one of the most freeing moments in my life, because I'm going, you know, I felt like God said, well, it's about time. You know, I knew that about you from the beginning. So don't, and there's something really mixed up about trying to analyze your own motives. That's a whole self-focused thing too. You know, so that gets you away from actually and living in the moment of when you actually are serving, because you're going, am I doing this out of pure motives? So now I just go, you know what? It's probably, I probably have some mixed up garbage in here, but it's all good.
One of our expressions here is that, you know, God uses us because of us and despite us.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know, that is how it works.
For a late show, that's pretty deep.
Yeah, keep your feet off the floor, folks. So what's the giveaway day?
December 5th and 6th.
December 5th.
At the Mall of America. It's going to be cool.
Yeah,
Come watch it.
There's so many things we could talk about. Do you need more volunteers?
We don't. Actually, if you didn't volunteer to help us clean and fix bikes, you can't volunteer to help us give them away.
Oh.
Only people
with pure
who
motives.
served with better motives than you people.
All right, I got you.
Has anybody here volunteered with us so far this year?
Oh, geez.
Wow, that's kind of embarrassing for you, isn't it?
I told him not to. Just want to tell us about
Yeah. So, Greg was telling you about my books, and this is actually called Be the Surprise. So it's actually about doing the things that we've been talking about and that you guys are going to be talking about over the next weeks. So I thought I'd do something fun, and if you all look underneath your chair, you will find absolutely nothing. Sorry, that was that other
you're
show.
trying to trump me.
That's
Donald.
That's not this show. That's a different show. But I have a deal for you. I brought a box of books, so there are like 60 or so books over on that table, and I want everybody to take one for free, but you have to promise something. You have to promise that you will read it, preferably read it by Christmas, and then you have to promise that you will wrap it and give it to somebody. Okay? But other than that, I want you to take this book for free, and Merry Christmas.
So don't go away, but we got some music. We got more in store for you here.
We're supposed to shake hands.
Oh, yeah. Repeatedly.